Greetings, denizens of the tri-state area. Jacob Weil here.
And Blue Dragon 5.
And Dragon, I know what we're going to do today. We're going to activate the Recap-inator and discuss my favorite cartoon, Phineas and Ferb. That's right, now their 15th anniversary and in preparation for the upcoming revival, I'm guiding Blue Dragon 5 here through the series, experiencing his reactions, watching it for the first time, and reliving my summer memories through the years. Today's episode is the Klimpaloon Ultimatum. The funny thing is, Dragon, it won't be upcoming for much longer, will it?
Nope.
I mean, we've been doing this since early 2023. So, hard to believe that it's not going to be upcoming much longer.
Wait, did you say 2023?
Yeah, I think so, right?
I thought it was 2024.
Well, maybe you're probably right. But either way, we've been doing this for quite a while. And it's hard to believe that it's not going to be upcoming much longer, so it'll almost be here. So, we've come quite a long way, so. As we're getting closer to the end, this is now, because this is officially the 20th episode of Season 4. What's your thoughts on the Klimpaloon Ultimatum?
Yeah, I thought it was a solid one.
It's definitely quite an interesting diversion, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's not something you kind of. I mean, it's definitely kind of different from the usual setup. You know, they're not doing anything too extravagant, even though they do kind of go to the Himalayas again. But it's definitely a different style of plot.
Oh yeah.
And now the funny thing, now Dragon, you're gonna be surprised with this. I have some background for this episode.
For a change?
Yeah, Dragon. This is an episode that does have a little bit of information regarding its production involved.
Well, I would hope so, given it's sponsored by Randomware.
Like, get wet arbitrarily.
Yeah.
Courtesy of Random. This podcast has been brought to you by Random Swimwear. All right. So. I'm sure you figured out who. I'm sure you know who the voice of Middington Random is.
Oh yeah.
Jon Stewart.
Not the Green Lantern, the other Jon Stewart.
The talk show host. The Daily Show host. Apparently, he recorded his voiceover during his absence from the Daily Show when he was directing his first movie.
Yeah.
So that's when he did that. Other guest stars include, obviously, the return of Carlos Alazraqui and Jared Reddick as members of Love Händel. And remember how one of the members was previously voiced by Steve Zahn? Swampy in Love Händel was voiced by Steve Zahn. Now in this episode, he was replaced by Jeff Bergman.
Ooh, Jeff Bergman.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. So if you're gonna have a voice actor come in, you can't go wrong with Jeff Bergman. And we also have another good actor. We have D.B. Sweeney as the voice of Slamhammer.
Did you say D.B. Sweeney?
Yes. Like the voice actor D.B. Sweeney.
No. I know that, but I know every time I hear D.B. Sweeney, I always think of there's a fun fact about him.
What's that?
Well, in Legend of Korra,
he voiced Aang. I know that much.
He voiced Aang, but you know who originally was supposed to voice the older Aang?
Was he his original voice actor?
Yeah, originally that's he was recast. There was a voice actor that they had, and then they swapped him out with D.B. Sweeney.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning this name. It was Rob Paulson, I think you said.
There you go. The boy can be taught.
Yep. It took me a second, but I remembered, wait, we were talking about, I was Rob Paulson.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Bergman's a really good voice actor. We can
agree on that. Oh, he's great. He's a phenomenal Fred Flintstone.
And Bugs Bunny, too.
Yeah.
And this episode, actually, the episode song, one of the episode songs anyway, the Klimpaloon Ultimatum, the Ballad of Klimpaloon, rather, was actually written for the Summer Belongs to You album. It was a soundtrack only album until they decided to incorporate it into this episode. And that concludes the background for this episode.
That's it?
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
I mean, Dragon, not a lot of information is shown in this production. Doesn't exactly have like a lot of in-depth production notes available.
Hmm.
I mean, it's not like Batman the Animated Series where like every episode was like handcraftedly, documented.
Yep.
Unfortunately, that's not as available for this show as it was for that.
Hmm.
Trust me, Dragon, if it was, I'd be all over it. This show technically hasn't even officially had like a full series release on like DVD or any physical media.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, certain episodes and the movie and Across the Second Dimension has been released on physical media, but the whole series itself has not.
No.
No, because because you think Disney would like to earn money, so they haven't. You'd think they'd like to earn some money, but they haven't done that.
You'd think.
You would think, but unfortunately, I don't recognize a lot of the episodes you've covered recently. I either didn't see them or I don't remember them. Well, like I said, these are towards the end of season 4, so that might explain it. So, why don't you start us off, Dragon?
All right. So, Stacy, played by the wonderful Kelly Hu.
Who?
Exactly. She exposits that Candace has won a contest to be a backup dancer for Love Händel as for their was it the Ballad of Klimpaloon?
Yes, but you remember it's not exactly expositing because she actually won the contest in the episode Just Our Luck.
All right. Well, still, she has to recap it though. So, like for the people who didn't see that episode.
I know, but technically it is continuity.
All right.
See, I did tell you there'd be little bits of continuity hanging here and there.
You did.
And yes, Dragon, I'm taking it. We started the Recap-inator. The first stream was on January 27th, 2023.
Okay.
So, yep, over 2 years.
Yeah, it just goes by like that.
Oh, yeah. All right.
So, Stacy reminds us that Candace won a contest to be the backup dancer for the Ballad of Klimpaloon.
Yep, and Linda and Lawrence are going to be there too as presenters for the songs. So a fact-based song category.
They're not just presenters; they're going to be in their old retro duds.
Well, I mean, remember, I don't think Lawrence was always Max Modem. I think he just became Max Modem.
Why? That's why I said retro.
I know, but Linda was always Lindana.
Yes.
But again, they pull off the looks quite well.
Oh, that they do. They look gorgeous. Look at them.
They look gorgeous together.
Well, yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously Lawrence is very 80s.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
I don't know what you're saying anymore either. But yeah, they're a good-looking 80s-esque pair.
Yes, they are.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, so we have the boys have won like an online auction for Alex Schankenberg's
Shackelberg.
Sorry, Alex Shackelberg's book.
And not to mention the boys look good in suits too.
Oh yeah,
they pull those off.
You know what that reminds me of?
What does it remind
you
you of?
It reminds me of Cindy Vortex making goo goo eyes at Jimmy Neutron at Jet Fusion's wedding when she saw him like in the tux.
Hung muffin.
Exactly. If only Isabella was present during that part of the episode.
Does she say hunk muffin or stud muffin?
I think it's hunk muffin, but
that's how I remember it. But
I'm pretty sure that's it, but I didn't think of it being another way. That's the thing.
Like I'm sure Neutron looks like a hunk muffin.
Yeah, there's like the hearts in the eyes and everything.
Yep.
We had the whole "I Have the Ring" musical number.
Yep, and they all can sing except Sheen.
Yep. Well, that's continuity though.
Yes, it's like
it saved the town once.
It did. Oh God.
Yep.
And of course, Jet Fusion married to beautiful, gorgeous.
Well, he almost got married to beautiful, gorgeous.
Yes. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe she's the daughter of Professor
Finbar
Calamitous. Yep.
Oh, yeah, seriously, just such great star casting there. I mean, again, you have Tim Curry as Professor Calamitous is always like one of the best of the Jimmy Neutron bad guys.
The evil scientist who can't complete anything.
Yep, and then of course, Beautiful Gorgeous being his daughter just made him even cooler. And the fact that again, Beautiful Gorgeous not only living up to her namesake is voiced by the very beautiful, very gorgeous Wendy Malick,
Oh, yeah.
who was also on Frasier.
You also have, speaking of Jet Fusion, Christian Slater.
Yeah, I like Christian Slater as well.
Like at least several of those have connections to this show.
Yes.
So there you go.
Oh yeah.
So see, the reference made sense.
It all came around.
We agree with you, see, Kogias. I don't know anybody who doesn't love Tim Curry. Dragon, would you concur with that?
I would concur with that, yes.
Concur, yes. I could totally concur with that too. Anyway.
Yeah.
If you can tell, I was kind of stalling for time because I didn't have the clip ready.
Yeah, no, I picked up on that, Jacob. I think we got that.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so the boys, they get an idea seeing the limousine.
Yep, which apparently, and they do like turn it into some kind of like amusement park with water slides and everything like that. I know we're gonna do tomorrow.
Yep.
How do we do it?
So yeah, this is the big like off formula moment of okay, we're going really off the reservation this time. How exciting!
And they have an idea of what to do tomorrow, an amusement park limo.
I
mean, admit it, I would love to ride in a limo like that.
Well, yeah. I think you'd love to ride in a limo, period.
I've never been in a limo.
That's what I said. You'd love to be in a limo, period.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just clarifying that I've never actually been in one.
You think I don't know you have? You think I don't know you haven't been in a limo? I know you haven't been in a limo.
You don't know everything about me.
I know you haven't been in a limo.
Have I mentioned it before?
No.
And how do you know I've never been in a limo?
Because you haven't been in a limo.
How did you know before then?
Trust me, if you've been in a limo, people can tell.
Like, have you been in a limo?
No.
All right, I didn't.
That's how I can tell.
I've never. I think I could tell that you weren't in one too.
Sure.
Yep.
Okay.
It's like,
I have been in a white Corvette, but not a limo.
I've been in a Mustang. I've been in a convertible Mustang.
Yeah, but did yours disappear via magic, though?
No.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Wait. Explain.
I was disappeared in a white Corvette in Vegas.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, moving on.
I still require more explanation than that. You can't just drop. I was disappeared in a white Corvette in Vegas.
I've been over this with you before.
I don't remember this story. Sorry, I don't remember this story. Just keep it brief then.
Okay, so I was in Vegas. I was called on stage by a magician. I was disappeared in a white Corvette.
All right, who's the magician?
The great Lance Burton.
Ooh, all right. And yeah, the story does sound vaguely familiar now that you mentioned it, but I just couldn't remember.
Oh yeah.
But all right.
Got some mementos, got some pictures. You know, it's a whole.
And you can't reveal the secret.
No, I can't.
All right. All right, back to the show.
Yep.
All right, so they're practicing helping Candace practice that nang for her performance in the Klimpaloon show.
Mm-hmm.
But what is that darn platypus up to?
There, let's see. So we have the transcendental meditation mission brief with Major Monogram.
Yep. It's like he's able to get his mission brief via meditation.
Yeah, of course, we have some ambient bongo drums, but Carl he goes a little overboard with it, throws off Monogram's focus.
Dang it, Carl.
Yeah, I was ready for you that time.
Yeah.
And dang it, Carl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was ready for you that time.
Well, kind of. You didn't have the visual up when we had the sound effect, but still, you're close.
I had to switch the banners back there, still up for the debate.
Yeah. Okay, so who would go overboard with the bongos?
Definitely from Johnny Bravo.
Mm-hmm.
He would definitely go overboard with the bongos.
Oh yeah. Let's see. I think Carl Carl Carlson from The Simpsons, he would not go overboard with the bongos.
He's probably one of the most sensible Carls on this list.
Oh yeah.
Like he's like probably the most normal Carl on this list. I mean, considering he's just a regular guy. Everyone else is other than Carl Fredrickson, but he also inflated a bunch of balloons and lifted and flew his house to South America.
Yeah.
Other than that, he's a normal guy.
Well, yeah, but also he's driven a dirigible, and for a while he just kind of parked it on top of a retirement home.
Yep, that should have been his new home.
Yeah, well, that was the question though, because there was oh boy, because the end obviously the end of up, we have to park in the dirigible in the handicap zone.
But by Doug days, he's back in a house.
That's the thing, but there was always a question of how canon this was. But you had the short, I believe it's George and AJ with the orderlies who showed up, and we saw them very shaken by the events at the end. It's Carl and Russell just showing up with the dirigible.
I don't think I've ever seen George and AJ.
Oh yeah, it's worth a watch. It's cute. It's not saying it couldn't have happened. It's basically just saying we see Carl and Russell after they land. So it's like it's essentially it's not saying anything. For example, take that and take the credits of the Up movie. I would argue it all still works because Carl C probably went to Shady Oaks for a while, and then he basically again he's not in prison. He can go out anytime he wants, and he just sold the dirigible to buy a house.
That does make sense.
So that's presumably what happens. But if you want to be that stickler guy, it's like, wait a minute, how can it be at Shady Oaks and then get his own house? Maybe the credits don't count. I would like to think I'd like to say everything worked out. I'd like to say we had a little bit of everything in there.
Well, or you could. There's something else you could say, Dragon.
We don't care.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah.
All right. If it gets in the way of the story, who cares?
Exactly. So, Kogias Anime Fan says, Major Monogram.
It's like Commissioner Gordon and General Ross were combined into a comedic character.
Yeah, it's funny. I always got more of a Chief Quimby vibe from the Monogram.
Yeah, I do kind of get that.
Yeah. There's definitely some. Honestly, there's a bit of a. You're right. Absolutely looks like General Ross, but a little bit of Gordon and maybe Chief O'Hara from '60s Batman lumped in with, the look of General Ross.
I mean, and it's the voice of Walter Cronkite.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, that's literally where Swampy got his voice from.
Oh yeah.
He was inspired by Walter Cronkite.
Cronkite was the iconic white mustache. That was him.
Yep, and that's what Swampy based his voice off of Walter Cronkite.
Now, the real question is, was Swampy a huge fan of We're Back, a Dinosaur Story? That's the real question.
No idea.
I'd like to think he was, but who knows? It's probably just a coincidence.
All right. Who knows?
Museum of Natural History.
Was that Walter Cronkite?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, it's Cronkite.
Oh, all right.
Cronkite was it Professor New Eyes, and I don't remember who Professor Screw Eyes was, but Professor New Eyes was Walter Cronkite.
All right.
Also, Jay Leno was the little lady who ran the Museum of Natural History.
Walter Cronkite was Captain New Eyes.
Yeah.
All right. Jay Leno was Vorb.
Oh,
Alien.
right. Vorb. Right. So, wait, so he didn't do. Wait, Leno didn't do a double role? They had two people. Did they say who the little lady was?
Well, it's not. It's not. Wikipedia is not saying.
Okay, well, the point Jay Leno's in. Yes, I thought it might have been a dual role, but yeah, he was definitely the alien.
All right.
Okay. Anyway.
Like I said, I didn't know that was Walter Cronkite.
Yep.
I've only seen the movie like a couple times.
Someone needs to eat their brain grain.
It's like, yeah, the same year Spielberg produced that movie. That was the same year Jurassic Park came out.
Yeah. Spielberg liked a monopoly.
And 2 dinosaur movies in 1 year.
Yep.
And also Schindler's List.
Well, yeah, we have to mourn the dinosaurs after all.
I'm just gonna move on from that one. All right.
Anyway.
It's
Oscar Schindler.
Oh God, Drake.
Such a happy start to that movie.
Yes.
All goes terribly wrong after that point, but you know.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, it does.
Anyway.
So they get to the 24-hour music awards, which is a very long time for a music show.
This is a fun commentary on. I mean, in general, it's award shows like the Oscars or this that go on forever, but especially music shows, like really, we don't really need to go that long because the music shows they go on longer because again they have to play all the songs like live and in person essentially.
Speaking of award shows, I'm sure you'll probably cover this on when you do memoirs later this month or probably the early of next month. You probably heard about the Oscar news where now all the members of the Academy are actually required to watch the nominated movies.
Well, that I did not hear. Is that a?
And it's like a recent ruling that instead of like abstaining from, they had to abstain from the vote. They actually have to watch all the nominated movies.
Okay, wait. So let me get this straight. So is it? On one hand, it seems silly, like they actually have to watch them, but you're saying that it's not just they actually have to watch them; it's that everyone who's a member of the Academy is required to watch the movies. Like they can't just like not vote.
I think that's what I've heard. Yeah, like it's like that. It's like a new ruling. Like it was like reported and everything that they're required to watch the nominated movies instead of either abstaining or not voting.
I wonder how stringent they're going to be about that. Like, could they? Because the actors could just lie.
I mean, it's the members. It's the board.
Well, I know. I'm just saying that. Oh wait. So wait. So it's just the board members.
I believe so. Yeah. I'm sure you guys will probably cover this in movie memoirs and the news segment.
Well, probably not. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, look into it. See if I'd recommend looking into it.
Okay.
Maybe make a good segment, but either way. So award. It is kind of making kind of a mockery of poking jabs at award ceremonies, kind of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But who should be there but Doofenshmirtz?
Who is a seat filler?
Yes. But that's not the real reason why he's there. We'll get to that one later.
Yeah.
What do you think of the whole microphone gag with Linda and Lawrence having trouble with the guy operating the mic?
I thought it was funny and it reminded me a little bit of Ben Stiller's Oscar gag this year.
I didn't see that.
You know, basically, Ben Stiller was talking about the importance of like set design or something. Like he do like the ramp up for that, and the gag was like the set was malfunctioning, so like there was like a platformer. Seemingly, he was like basically having similar trouble instead of a mic stand. It was like he was in like the platform that was supposed to raise, and it wasn't raising. Yeah,
kind of appropriate, I guess, for this.
Yeah.
It's like so they present the first nominee, Slamhammer, with the song "Trees Are Made of Wood."
Not a very subtle group, the Slamhammer bunch.
And then Dragon with a name like Slamhammer, you usually expect soft melodic songs that and all that, gentle melodies and all that.
Well, yeah.
So you can tell how serious they were about trees being made of wood, which basically Dragon kind of like opened my eyes. Like I didn't know that trees were made of wood before they made the song.
I know you kept thinking they were made of like cardboard, right?
Yes. I mean, Dragon. What else did you think? What else did you think? Or they're all paper mache.
They're sawdust. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, the song is only just like one lyric long. Trees are made of wood. Well, we can actually sing a song from the show and finish it. Trees are made of wood. See, there you go. It's done.
Yep.
So yeah. So speaking of Doof, explain his rather interesting plotline this episode.
Well, Doofenshmirtz has infiltrated the award ceremony as a seat filler in order to get close to his brother and and spray him with his new inator, the warthog-inator. No. It's not the spray bottle. As much as I would desperately love that to be the inator.
It's the inator is actually the liquid, funnily enough.
Yeah.
It's like using pseudoscience, which apparently he had Norm step on a bunch of warthogs and get their extract.
Yep. Again, Jacob, Norm, he's got bare feet.
In this case, boar feet.
Yeah. He bore his feet for us.
So yeah.
So Jacob has a reverse Tarantino thing where he fears feet, much like Timmy Turner in the photos of Grandma's feet.
Well, anybody would fear his grandma's feet.
Well, yeah, especially since we never saw Grandma Turner.
Yeah.
That's the thing where I fear.
And by the way, I'm not afraid of feet. I just don't find feet attractive.
Well, true. Still reverse Tarantino.
Yes, I guess so.
Yeah. Still, it kind of repulses you. So it's kind of
I'm not repulsed by feet.
Okay.
I'm just saying I don't find them attractive. That's all. We went over this last week.
I don't know. You seem kind of afraid of him last week. That's why I was bringing it up like that.
I don't go like I go.
Yeah, a little bit. That was the gag. I think that was the bit, though.
Like I said, that's what Doof does whenever he sees seafood and bats.
Yeah.
But I don't do that whenever I see. It's like
It would be hilarious if you did.
I personally don't do that whenever I see feet, Dragon.
Yep.
Whenever I talk about myself from now on, I'm going to be pulling this up.
Yep. It's like looking into a mirror, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes,
it is.
Just like you.
Yes, exactly. Except I don't have buzz cut hair, magenta sunglasses.
Like Patrick looking at that picture of Doodle Bob.
And that stupid tie.
Patrick?
It looks good on you, SpongeBob.
Boy.
Yep. We covered that not too long ago for Haunted Holiday Hijinks.
Well, yeah.
And you said you're rewatching the series too. Did you get to that episode yet?
Well, I'm kind of shifting between a few things. I will return to SpongeBob, shortly, but kind of.
That is a great episode, though.
Oh, of course. I'm not in season 2 yet. I'm still in season 1.
All right.
I'm taking my time with it, though.
Season 1 through 3, all great.
Yeah, remember simultaneously, like I'm re-binging through, like SpongeBob, Pokemon, something special soon.
Oh, what's that?
Want me to just tell you?
I'm kind of interested. Yeah.
Duck Dodgers.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is that on? What'd you think? I love Duck Dodgers.
well, I know. Yeah, I got the Blu-ray.
Nice. I didn't even know there was a Blu-ray.
Oh yeah, that's the thing is here you could track down the DVDs. Only season 2 is really hard to get a hold of, so I got all 3 seasons on Blu-ray.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep, you gotta remember it. Basically, when they purged everything, Duck Dodgers became quite the commodity. So it was, I mean,
Was I don't think Doug Dodgers was ever on Max.
well, no, it wasn't. That's my point, though. Everyone was like, "Oh my god, they got rid of all the Looney Tunes." People were buying the Looney Tunes in bulk on Amazon. So, like I think it has returned to Amazon. But I'm saying for a while it was there for a bargain, then it was gone, and it was back again. So it's back again. So
Doug Dodgers is underrated.
that is true.
Yeah, it is.
Mm.
I mean, I love that show.
Okay, the point being, I've been kind of binging through a few, I've been re-binging through a few things, and kind of getting back in touch.
The funny thing is, Dragon, I've been going through some other shows from my childhood as well.
Yep, and obviously for other reasons, Dragon Ball as well. So it's been busy.
Like, the funny thing is, Dragon, I've rewatched a couple episodes of some other shows from my childhood, and I actually discovered one that's having a 25th anniversary this year.
Oh, don't say that.
Teacher's Pet.
But,
Yep, Teacher's Pet is having its 25th anniversary this year.
okay, well, that one I don't want to make any promises about.
I mean, I'm not expecting you to. I'm just saying.
It is great though. I do love Nathan Lane.
It is great, yeah. But I'm just saying that is having a 25th anniversary this year.
To my earlier point, one show, Fairly Odd Parents. Because I watched the Jimmy Timmy Power Hours, Fairly Odd Parents has been on my mind. It just makes me furious. Watching that crossover, it was really abundantly clear after rewatching Jimmy Neutron and getting to that at the end. It was like, huh. Man, I mean, I always knew the the old after the show goes on too long, you kind of notice these sort of things. Thing was, yeah, the Turners, terrible people, terrible human beings. But I gotta wonder though, man, could it have been worse, or could it have been just as bad earlier on when it was a lot more palpable, like palatable?
I don't know. I mean, I still quote the thing like, "I'm respecting your authority by knocking, but asserting my authority by coming in anyway."
That's the thing with Fair Odd. You look back and it's like, the Turners are funny. They're neglectful but funny. But then at a certain point, it's like even neglectful and funny. It's like, oh man, that's bad. I will tell you something. Okay, I was going to go completely off topic.
All right, we'll get back to where we were with the whole warthog thing in a bit.
Sure. Yeah, I've been. I tell you, man, I've been reading through J. Michael Straczynski's autobiography recently. I had it, I never had gotten to it, so I was reading through it, and my God, that poor man, he had like the worst childhood you've ever imagined. I mean, absolute worst. I mean, oh my God, it was like, JMS, I never in a million years would have imagined his childhood was so traumatic.
Well, he's doing well for himself now, at least.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I felt so bad for him. It is like his father was a monster. Like, dear God.
Eesh.
Even the nuns were mean to him. I mean, the nuns were always like, they were really mean.
Ouch.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I just got to this part where, his father was, but point being, his father did all these horrific things. He stood up for himself like one time in his whole childhood to his father. You know, his father did in response to this. Aside from the obvious, beating him very severely. Aside from that,
what's that?
Oh, it's Jacob. It's on. I'm going to tell you, it's really bad. Okay, so this poor kid wants nothing in this world. Nicest kid. Okay, he just lucked in the comic books. Okay, and he's built like a nice collection. Like he's basically, again, back in the day when the comics were dirt cheap. He had gotten very, very sizable runs of Superman and Spider-Man, Fantastic Four. Point being, comics kid, classics, like Amazing Fantasy 15 to I don't know whatever, up to maybe late 60s, early 70s, but let's say late 60s.
All right.
Father basically stands up to a beating. He grabs the belt and he won't let go, kind of a thing, until the father has to punch him. Anyway, so his father, he's a drunk stumble bum, and the point being, the kid's struggling in school only because he's nearsighted and he needs glasses, and he's basically at the end of the day, he's trying to run up to the blackboard to write down all the notes they missed out, but then the teachers will unintentionally, cruelly erase the board, so it's all for nothing. So the kid's hopelessly ill-equipped for a math test. Point being, your grades are slipping, and the father's a horrible human being, and he basically says, no, I know what the root bad influences. This is the reason for all this that's going on with you, like standing up to me and not doing well in school, et cetera, et cetera. And this is a guy like beats anyone for any reasons. Horrible person, drunk, terrible. So what he does, he basically the kid had like this little like I don't know if it was metal or not, like a little metal box or something like that. He kept his comics in. Again, this is like before the days of like collecting. This is like they were kept in really nice condition. He looks scared over to the box. The box is empty, and like the comics are on the table, and the father rips them to confetti in front of the poor kid. The kid, like, just to screw his father, he didn't scream at all during the beatings, but he wailed so tragically when he tore all, like Amazing Fantasy 15, God knows whatever early issues of Superman, to pure confetti.
Oof.
I had like I was like, oh no, it was so like I was trembling as I read it. It's like, oh, it's like the saddest thing I've ever heard of.
That is rather sad.
So JMS, all the respect in the world for what then. I'm still like early in the book. This is like it's like chapter 9, but it's like we're still in childhood, man.
Yeesh.
Yeah, I don't know. God, I don't know what's next around the corner, but it's like I can't wait to get to the happier stuff, but it's gonna be a while.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, anyway, so back to the happy exploits of Phineas and Ferb.
Yes. Yes, let's
So warthog, so you get sprayed with you get sprayed.
It's like so Doofenshmirtz like reading up on the charter, in which case they a little bit of politics humor here, in which they're so fed up with the previous administration or what previous government or whatever, they elected a warthog saying they can't possibly do any worse.
And then
what's the worst that could possibly happen?
Nepotism.
And that's what happens, nepotism.
I love that we have like it wouldn't be apparent except for that one lone chair.
Be filled with like cousins, uncles, and family members and all that. So that's why warthogs cannot hold public office in the tri-state area. Not for any of the obvious reasons, but
well, yeah, they have bad gas.
Yeah, that too.
But yeah, so again, all this made possible by Doofenshmirtz's most insidious inator that he's ever done in the entire series, the spray bottle. Bum, bum, bum.
And the inator inside that turns people get sprayed into a warthog.
Yep.
Even Perry.
Hey, Jacob.
Yes.
Do you know what time it is?
I think I do, Dragon.
It's Gritty Reboot time! Gritty.
Reboot time.
Gritty Reboot time.
Boom.
Yeah. Anyway, so imagine this, Jacob.
Yes.
Imagine we spray with the warthog inator.
Yeah.
And it's Lampwick. It's the Lampwick transformation, but in warthog form.
Oh God, no, Mama.
Yep. I was a man, but now I'm a hog.
I've seen Pinocchio, Dragon.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So just take that now. Imagine that applied to Perry the Platypus, beloved icon. Goes from one species to horrifically another. Imagine American Werewolf in London meets Pinocchio.
the platypus hog.
Yeah. The platahog.
Platahog, yes.
The hogapus.
Hogapus. Yes, but all those sound good.
Warts and all.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not doing the rim shot for this one, Dragon.
No, it's not funny enough, I know.
So or a pun.
Yeah.
So I only do it when it's serious, Dragon.
Yep, you can only do it when it's
when it's a serious pun.
Yep.
You're like, I don't want it to hog all the time. See?
Yep.
All right. So as you were saying,
Okay. The point being, yeah. So it's a journey, and let's say the fight escalates. And Perry Platypus, he ends up going past the slaughterhouse,
oh,
and he kills all the people trying to turn him into bacon. Or I guess pork chops, but Guys, imagine like this little piggy episode of Justice League Unlimited, but with Perry the Platypus, whose hands are registered weapons. So,
this platypus has a beaver. This warthog has a beaver tail.
yep. Oh, it must be a mutant. Well, we'll throw that in as the the day olds.
We'll call it extra rare.
There you go.
It's
We'll
rare.
sell it to Florida. They'll eat anything.
Or California.
I mean, sure, but I don't know.
I mean, have you seen some of the stuff they do in California?
That's true. Or it could be like cow and chicken with the pork butts.
Oh, God.
Basically, the one pork butt would have like the beaver tail.
Oh, God. What even was that show?
That's an excellent question.
I mean, I watched that show a lot when I was a kid, but I have no idea what it was.
God, you remember the opening song?
Like
Mama had it. I think
Chick.
what is it?
Mama had a chicken, Mama had a cow. Dad was proud, he didn't care how.
It really does beg the question. Like, wait a minute. The parents are human.
And just apparently pairs of legs.
Yeah, that is. Well, yeah, that was more like a nightmare. I think that one time, but
But still. And the fact that the literal devil is the bad guy.
Yep, he really doesn't like wearing pants.
He likes to bounce around on his butt.
Well, then again, so does Tom Ellis. You watch season 4 of Lucifer and tell me different, kids.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. What do you like? I said, what was Cow and Chicken Dragon? What was that? That's a better dog. If you watched the documentary yesterday, I mean, watched the debate yesterday, you would know that's a better recipient of why.
Why?
Instead of Chicken Little, let's get a documentary on that. Just like go to David Feiss and be like, why?
Yeah, I really wish all the Cartoon Network, the underrated Cartoon Network creators got those documentaries.
Yeah. I mean, good God.
Frankly, I will tell you this. Like, here's the show no one ever talks about.
Hey, we're 40 minutes in. We haven't even got like halfway through the opening segment of the episode.
Oh, they're gonna be fine. You're gonna save a bathing suit or something. It's fine.
I mean, we do go for more tangents than we did anything else.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this, and we're gonna move on. I want to know more about Cat Dog. I know it's a Nicktoon show. I'm just shifting subjects there. But yeah.
I know, but Cat Dog would be good too.
Yeah, because no one ever talks about Peter Hanna. No one ever talks about like how.
I mean, he did the opening song, and it's great.
Oh yeah.
Like one fine day with a wolf and a purr, baby was born to cause a little stir. I like the tangents.
Yep.
It's probably the reason why you guys watch us. It's like not from you guys come in expecting a coherent recap podcast of Phineas and Ferb.
And you walk away severely disappointed.
but then again, it's a winding road, Dragon. Like, but yeah, we reach the end all the same.
Okay, so
We somehow still reach the end regardless.
the point being,
So Doofenshmirtz plans to turn Roger into a warthog, so he can't hold a position of power.
and to humiliate him.
That too, yes.
Right. So Perry, he kind of takes, they get into a scuffle, and he ends up getting blasted. And he turns into a reggae warthog.
Rastafarian warthog.
Yep.
And he's selected by the band Swine Flute in order to play the tambourine.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently he does quite well at it because he goes on tour with them a little bit.
Well, yeah, I mean, he knows how to play that tambourine. You've seen it.
Yep. It's not a green tambourine, though.
No, that'd be 10 times better.
Yes, it would.
Ooh,
Even better if they had Robert Goulet singing it.
yeah. See, just animated Disney things are better when you have Robert Goulet singing them.
Yes. Like You Got a Friend in Me.
Yep, you got that. Seriously, still possibly my favorite version of You Got a Friend in Me. I don't know.
Yep. And he was and this isn't Disney, but he was also in the second Naked Gun.
Well, he's the bad guy in that.
Well, I know when he didn't sing, but
And
technically,
he's in Beetlejuice, and he's in Scrooge. He pops up,
yeah, no, I'm not saying those are the only things he did.
including Recess.
Yeah, as Mikey's singing voice.
Yep.
With my green tambourine.
Bow, bow, bow.
All right. So yeah. So there's a controversy when Love Händel goes on stage to perform the Ballad of Klimpaloon. Slamhammer comes out and says the Klimpaloon isn't real. There's no proof that it exists.
Now, we, the audience, know that there's absolutely proof that it exists. We saw him.
Yep, the magical old-timey bathing suit that lives in the Himalayas.
Lives somewhere in the Himalayas.
Yes. Yeah. And Dragon, you know how I used to say, like, whenever we say the Klimpaloon's name, we always have to follow with the magical old-timey bathing suit that lives in the Himalayas.
Yeah.
For the sake of time, we're not gonna do it. We don't have to do that this episode.
Oh, we're already 40 minutes in. So.
I know, but I don't want to add any more time.
Yeah.
It's like, so yeah. But then we're introduced to the host, to the sponsor of the program, Mittington Random, as we mentioned earlier, voiced by Jon Stewart.
Yes.
The talk show host, not the Green Lantern.
Yeah. This one's more evil.
Until he gets infected by parallax.
Well, that's true.
I know.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
It was Hal Jordan that got infected. I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Dragon.
Yep.
It was Hal Jordan that got infected by parallax. I was just making a joke.
Yep.
You didn't think I knew that, did you?
I mean, I thought you might have slipped for a moment.
No, it was just an intentional reference.
Okay.
All
So
right.
the Tristes.
Yes. So Love Händel is temporary. If they don't provide proof within 24 hours, they are disqualified.
But they can't seek it themselves because them and for some reason the presenters are squirreled away into like a soundproof box.
For 24 hours.
For 24 hours, and they got to listen to Lawrence. But thankfully, Lawrence seems to be spinning quite the yarn for them.
Apparently, it's like the story of how he and Linda met.
Yep.
It's like, and that is the story of how we met.
Did we ever learn how they met, Jacob?
No.
I think we need to have a word.
All right. I had prepared when I heard you breathe in.
Then, Swampy. Really? I mean, this isn't like the first names of the Turner family. You know, this is just like, you know.
Dragon, their names are Timmy's mom and Timmy's dad.
Oh, they actually had names, and we didn't hear them because the book closed.
Yep, I know.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, guys, this is not the same deal here. Okay, look, this is a cute joke. Like, okay, that's how they met, but don't try and make it a big mystery. Like, okay, look, we saw how Doof and Schmertz and Linda met. Surely, we can see in the in our revival, we got to do something where we see how Linda and Lawrence met and fell in love. I mean, you know, we like these crazy kids. We want to see how they met. I mean.
Remember, we know how they fell in love, but not how they met.
Yeah.
Because remember, they fell in love when they first kissed at the Love Händel concert.
That's true. Wait a minute. Is that just how they met, you think?
No, that's not how they met. But remember, that wasn't. I don't think that was their first. I think that was the first time they kissed and officially fell in love.
Okay.
I don't think that's how they met, though.
All right. Well. Then yeah, that is a big gaping hole, Dan and Swampy. You know, you have to fill that hole with story and concrete plot and story.
I will raise this point though, Dragon. Is it actually entirely necessary how they met? I mean, part of the whole mystique of their story, and and Dan and Swami have gone on record saying they'll never like reveal like the original other parents. Like they'll never reveal Lawrence's previous wife or Linda's previous husband. Like they've openly revealed that they will never do that. And I'm certain that won't change in the revival.
Even if we don't reveal them, I mean, don't we want to show them in their single era?
I mean, maybe, but I don't think it's entirely necessary. I mean, just the fact that they're together. I think I think that's good enough.
All right, fine. I'll withdraw the point. Moving on.
I mean, you can still believe that. I'm just voicing my perspective.
I mean, look, it's not really necessary, and it was like the show Bible rule. I mean, I admit I was curious, like why we never do address, like, we don't need to. You're right, some built-in mystique, but after a while, after like 4 seasons plus, you have to kind of wonder after a while, like, why is that?
Well, the reason they did is because they just wanted to keep the foundation that they're a loving family, and that they're even like, a found family, because Swampy himself came from had a family like this. He had a step family and all that.
Yep.
So it's like, they wanted to preserve that and not necessarily have it. Or just wanted to keep the fact that they're a loving family.
All right, good enough for me.
Yep. So the boys, Candace, Buford, Baljeet, and Isabella all travel to the Himalayas. Somehow they get there very quickly.
Yep, they travel by map.
Yes. Travel, or at least travel montage. 2 words. Travel montage. 2 words. Cliche.
And Baljeet just has a really negative attitude this episode.
Yep, always questioning everything.
Yep.
Mr. Bringdown.
Yep.
Dr. Bringdown, I guess.
I guess.
I actually know that song because there actually is a character later named Dr. Bringdown.
Oh.
His first name, his name's David. Yes, his name is Dr. David Bringdown. You think I'm making this up, aren't you?
I don't think you're making it up, but
I'm not making it up.
Yeah.
There's a character in a future episode called Dr. Bringdown.
All right.
All right, but so before they depart though, they are the band, the leader of Slamhammer swears he will stop at nothing to prevent Klimpaloon from being found. And on their way, they are stalked by someone mysterious.
Yes.
On their way to find the Klimpaloon.
Looks very much like the guy from Slamhammer.
Yes. And with Phineas and Ferb's map, it only takes them so far. They only got the first half of the map, because they only got the first journal. When they tried to get the second one, it turns out they were sniped. Have you ever been sniped, Dragon?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It really stings, doesn't it?
Yep.
You're increasing your bid, waiting until the last minute, then click, and then you got sniped.
Oh, I thought you meant actually being shot. But yes, being sniped on what?
Wait, you actually been sniped?
No, I've not. No, I haven't been sniped. I'm kidding.
I was like, wait a minute.
No. Well, I wouldn't tell you if I was shot, but still.
Okay.
I have been sniped on eBay though.
I mean, that's what I meant.
I know. I was kidding.
I was hoping you were kidding when you were talking about being sniped in real life.
Yeah.
All right then. It's like, so yeah, they got sniped, and apparently the second half of the map is useless because the cave is just basically right above where the map ends.
Yeah.
So, because Buford points out by that Klimpaloon shaped totem pole. If Buford's the voice of reason,
my life has lost all reason in meaning.
It's like, hey, remember, long underwear gives the best wedgies. And of course, when they get to the cave, they find Candace performs that nang 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 nang, and out comes the Klimpaloon. Hey, Dragon, speaking of which, do you remember who voices the Klimpaloon?
Who does voice the Klimpaloon?
Dan.
Oh, right.
Dan does.
I thought you were maybe, ramping up to maybe a big revelation, but
I was just asking if you remembered because I did mention it before.
yeah, that's you mentioned it before, but I don't know. I thought maybe it was like, oh wait, maybe it isn't just Dan or Swampy. Maybe it is somebody else.
No, Dan does the nang 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 nang.
It sounds like him.
Yep, that it does.
Okay.
I mean, mine probably doesn't, but
Well, it's not. It's no Gromit.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of a. I have only occasionally done Klimpaloon. I've mastered my craft in Gromit, though.
Yeah, you a PhD in Gromit, my friend.
Yes, I was the understudy for. Remember, I did manage to be the understudy for Vengeance Most Foul.
Yeah.
You know, on standing in on days when usually when the regular Gromit actor couldn't be there.
Oh yeah, I'm well aware of this fact.
But, and I decided to, for the sake of modesty, I decided to go uncredited.
Yep.
You know, just for modesty's sake.
Yep.
After all, I am so exceedingly humble. After all.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Stop me anytime, Dragon.
Let's go on.
All right. So yeah, like, who should find them except Middington Random?
Bum bum bum.
Yep. Middington. It turns out Middington Random is basically trying to find a new way to market a swimsuit. So what better way to do that than to reinvent the old-timey bathing suit?
Bring it back.
Yep. So he takes it to his fortress in the middle of the Himalayas, which he has apparently. Because, he's a rich guy. He has a fortress in the Himalayas.
You're saying this like you're skeptical that all rich people don't have secret fortresses all over the world.
I mean, I personally wouldn't know, but well, then again, they are secret fortresses, so. Anyway, they are secret fortresses, so who knows? Maybe there are some actually out there. Secret fortresses hidden in mountains or volcanoes or something like that.
Oh yeah, all over.
It's like, the mountains, volcanoes, underneath the ocean. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe even in the sky. Like a helicarrier kind of thing going on.
Yeah, no, I got that.
All right. Like, so somehow they find the snowboards and are followed by yaks for some reason. I didn't understand where the yaks came from.
They were wandering aimlessly. They needed something to do.
And so they all decided to form a pyramid and snowboard down with the kids.
Yeah.
Dragon, you're the one acting. You're acting all skeptical here.
No, I believe it.
All right. So there's a little bit of a jab here with the whole with random song. Marketing jabs and all that, like reinventing. Kind of ironic considering what's coming up. If you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Flashing back to fashion forward. Why rely on inspiration when the old stuff's tried and true?
Yeah, there's something a little prognostication-y there,
Yep. and also kind of oddly prophetic in a way, considering the state of the animal landscape right now.
Yeah.
But we'll see how it goes. Of course, we get a couple cute moments of storming the fortress and Phineas comforting Isabella when she sees all the mutant Klimpaloons. It's like, you fiend! And then Isabella just
copping a feel.
She just smiles like, She's like, I'm okay with this. I love like that content smile. She's like, I'm okay with this.
Yeah. It's very much a Helga moment.
And she's not gonna say no.
Nope.
It's like if he's doing it, I'm gonna live with it.
She's got needs.
Yep, and like basically at this remember from the birthday episode, she'll take what she can get.
Oh yeah.
Remember, she'd even be fine with having a root canal with him
Oh yeah.
at this point. So that's probably like heaven to her.
Yes,
Right
she just wants to get rid of the limey. That's all she really wants in life. Just get rid of the limey, and and she'll be able to have Phineas all to herself.
So like I said, she's probably in heaven at that moment.
Just imagining like her, at home, like her version of the Helga shrine is like she's hugging a traffic cone.
I found the magical old-timey recap podcast that lives in the Himalayas. Yeah, how could we're not that old?
Well,
The podcast isn't that old.
man.
It's only 2 years old, Dragon.
Well,
How long did it take you to do Batman again?
well, to be fair, I went on a hiatus. I really, there was a large hiatus. Had we not gone on hiatus, it would have gone by a lot sooner.
All right, that's fair, but still.
Mm.
Anyway. So, yeah.
But it took many years. I mean, again, probably would have been less, but still, end of the day, it took many years.
Yeah. But again, Isabella's enjoying Phineas's moment with her.
Yeah.
But dude, speaking of we mentioned body horror earlier, or we mentioned it before at least. Would you say that the whole mutant failed Klimpaloon attempts would count as body horror?
Well, what specifically about it would you say is body horror-y?
I mean, basically all the failed Klimpaloons, they're half all the half-formed Klimpaloon clones and all that.
I would say so, yeah.
I mean, it'd be body horror if they weren't swimsuits.
Well, absolutely.
If they weren't magical old-timey bathing suits that lived in the Himalayas.
I don't know. I still think it's kind of body horror-ish.
Yep.
There's just technically no body.
Well, I mean, it's their body.
Well, still, I mean, it's a swimsuit, though.
Yep, but they're magical old-timey bathing suits, Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
They have feelings.
Yeah.
So yeah, they managed to trick Middington Random, grab Klimpaloon, and Candace uses her 999 to trick them.
Sacrifices her big moment.
which is good, which is nice for Candace.
Yeah.
And they all managed to make their way back to it before Love Händel is disqualified. And so Drake, why don't you explain what happens next then?
All right. You when they get back.
Yes.
All right, so they get back. The time is out. Lawrence has filled the whole, the cell with hot air.
Yeah, from speaking.
Now, do you think it's because it's a steamy story of how they met up, or do you think it's because he's just full of hot air?
Yes.
Okay. It's a torrid love story. I'll say that much.
Yes, Dragon. It's a very wild love story.
Well, yeah. I mean, you've seen Linda and Lawrence. You've seen them during Halloween.
Yep. Oh no, a gorilla.
I think they met a costume party because they really like dressing up. Whether it be in the I think that's their thing.
What are you trying to say, Dragon?
I think I just said
it. All right then.
They like dressing up in funny costumes
and apparently scaring kids
and being lovey-dovey.
And like I said, and scaring kids apparently.
That's what I'm saying. All three things can be true at the same time.
Yep.
Like dressing up, scaring kids, getting lovey-dovey.
Nothing wrong with that, I guess.
While in costumes.
Seemingly
the friskiest costume pairing being a nurse
And a gorilla. Yep. And we don't see that's that we see.
Well, yeah, but again, there might be other outfits.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Dragon. That we see.
Yeah,
I mean, cosplay. I mean, there's such a thing as cosplay, Dragon.
yeah. Plus, there might be a Star Wars cosplay for him.
Oh no. But anyway, so naturally, Linda doesn't believe Candace when she explains what's going on with Middington Random.
Yep.
But then they reveal the Klimpaloon, thereby ensuring Love Händel's victory and winning the Tristy.
Yep, but for a change, Linda kind of like, she sees the boys actually accomplish something like this.
Yeah, and still doesn't question everything else that Candace has told them.
Yep, but again, there are stakes here, so we're not going to grind things to a halt.
Yes, but so like when what do you think of the whole slam hammer thing? Like, you said you'd stop at nothing. Like, yeah, that's it. I did nothing and I stopped. I mean, he did stop at nothing.
True.
Were Lawrence and Linda even in the Star Wars special? Yes, they were. Very briefly in the beginning, but they were there.
Oh, don't tell me we kill them off.
No.
No.
They're not killed off, Dragon.
Okay.
But that episode, I will say this though. That episode does have a body count.
No, I'm sure.
Trust me, it has oddly enough a very high body count.
See, that was in the days of Star Wars where people actually stayed dead.
But that episode definitely has a very high body count, and it's played for laughs. Believe it or not, I don't think you'll believe it when you see it. I mean, you'll see the joke coming, but you'll think, will they go there? Will they actually go there? And then yes, they do go there. All right.
All right.
I don't think you know what I'm talking about, but.
Well, I imagine it has something to do with the Death Star.
Well, you'll see. I'm not gonna say. I want to keep it a surprise.
All right, fine. Keep it a surprise.
All right. So Love Händel performs the Ballad of Klimpaloon. Middington Random unwittingly reveals his plan, what he did, and basically his entire reputation is ruined. And he's turned into a warthog.
I love that there's a little bit of De La Cruz in his undoing.
Well, I mean, the whole engineered thing like that is a common thing and is a common trope.
Yeah.
But it is kind of it actually came before De La Cruz.
Well, yeah.
Ernesto De La Cruz. I still wonder how they're going to pull off the sequel to that.
No idea. Well, I mean, I haven't know what I want it to. It's one of the few times a time jump might actually be a good idea.
Well, it's probably kind of necessary considering the voice of Miguel's probably aged since then.
Well, that too.
Unless they find another voice actor for him.
Yeah.
Yep, apparently they confirmed a sequel to Coco.
And they got Lee Unkrich and Adrian Molina to come back for it.
Oh, I didn't know about Lee Unkrich coming back.
Well, that's the thing. So I wonder if I heard they're both coming back. At the very least, Molina. This is the project he left. He left Elio for.
I mean, that makes sense.
He was the original director on Elio, and you'll notice if you look at the trailers, the movies are very different. His version of Elio is very different than the one that we're about to get.
Yeah, and it's taken over by Domi Shi.
Yeah, Domi Shi and the director from Burrow.
Yep, so we'll see how that goes.
Yep.
And I'm checking the wiki, and yep, it's Lee Unkrich and Adrian Molina both coming back for it.
Why do you doubt me when I tell you that?
I didn't doubt you. I was just confirming it.
All right.
I didn't doubt you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so either way, Middington Random is turned into a warthog, and Doofenshmirtz is like he wants to blame Perry the platypus, but it's like it's kind of he's not there to take the he's not there because it's not his fault. It's kind of ended up being anticlimactic for him.
Yep.
So yeah, and of course Klimpaloon's just living it up on the limo. Perry turns back, and Baljeet just has another one of his complaints. How are we gonna get back home?
Always so negative, that Baljeet.
Yeah, I consider it. It's kind of funny how like Buford was the more positive one in this. All right, that concludes the episode.
Yep.
We went on some very strange tangents during that one, didn't we?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, it's probably still not the strangest tangents we've ever been on. I still say somehow us ending up on BDSM was probably the strangest one we've ever been on.
Well, the kids needed to learn.
Yes, Dragon. Like they need
Well,
to learn.
the ABCs of BDSM.
Like Dragon, I don't want to teach kids about BDSM.
Well, I know you don't want to teach them, Jacob. If we don't tell them, they're going to have to learn on the playground.
I hope not.
I hope not either. We're doing a service.
Like they shouldn't need to learn them until they're like in their adults.
Well, I know, but even the adults need the lessons too sometimes.
Yeah, I know.
And the way they teach the lessons is they bend them over, and there's straps, and there's
safe words.
Yep.
It's like, all right, but that's where we're gonna end on that.
Yep.
Might add that will be in the last 5 specials when season 5 starts airing.
Well.
But as you were saying, Dragon.
I said, well, I had an idea. I don't want to announce anything, but I had an idea.
All right. Dragon doesn't announce anything on air. He doesn't have to.
Okay.
I mean, unless you really do want to.
No.
All right. Then you can tell me off air.
Yeah.
All right. So. All right. So that concludes it for the Klimpaloon Ultimatum. This is kind of a fun episode. Definitely kind of off the beaten path a little bit, but not bad. It's kind of a nice change. It was kind of a nice change of pace. Wouldn't you say?
I would say so.
All right, so thank you, Aqua Ted and Code Giaz for joining, and apparently Wait Fisher Rice earlier for joining us. So be sure to join us next week on the Recap-inator, where Doof goes to school. Good night, everybody. 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9.